Hello my friends, for today's beer review we're going to be taking a look at something hopefully quite interesting. This is Wychwood Brewery's Hob Goblin. It is a imported dark English ale, comes in at 5.20% ABV, so it's just a little bit higher than your average ABV. I haven't had anything from Wychwood Brewery before. I've heard a lot of good things about this. It gets decently high marks. And so, without further ado, I'm going to get the cap off of it carefully, because, as you know, I always save my caps, especially when it's a brewery that's new to me, and see what this beer is all about. Alright, there's the cap off. Going to be using a standard stout-styled pint glass today. Let's give it a pour. Straight out of the bottle, looks a nice orangish amber color. Let's see if we can get a head on this. There's a little bit left in the bottle. I hope it's good enough for me to want to come back to. In the glass, let's take it to the light. It is an extremely dark, orangish amber color. Lots of little carbonation bubbles rising to the top. Pours to about a half finger of slightly off-white tan head. Looks quite creamy. I have a feeling it's probably going to dissipate rather fast, but let's get a nose on this and see how it smells. Immediately hit with hops and sort of a burnt caramel kind of note in the background. There's some malts there as well. There's definitely sweetness. It's not very bitter in the smell. Maybe just a touch of your more citrusy fruits. So yeah, hops, malts, kind of a little bit of a burnt caramel, sweetness, and your more citrusy fruits. Yes, as I said, the head is dissipating down quite quickly. It's just a film now. So, let's give it a taste and see how it ranks. Quite interesting. There's a little bit of sweetness up front, and just a little bit of bitterness in the back. Has a pretty long finish, and I'm still able to taste little remnants of its flavor in my mouth right now. So let me try and pick the taste apart. Right when it goes down, it almost has a really light kind of IPA taste to it. A little bit citrusy and sweet, just a little bit though, just a hair of that. Then afterwards, you kind of get like a deeper malt backbone. Unfortunately, that's where the bitterness hits. I would have liked more of a sweet malt up front with more of a bitter hop flavor in the back. That's not to say it's not good though. However, for something that's this dark and is considered a special bitter beer, it's extremely thirst quenching and refreshing. It's kind of hard to put my finger on. Imagine when you have a hot day outside and you pour yourself a glass of water, and you know that right between temperature of water, when it's cold water but it's not so cold that it hurts your teeth and it's kind of hard to go down like in large glugs, you know. It doesn't give you brain freeze, but it's not warm water either. It's like right between at that perfect temperature where you can really just chug it down and it's like perfectly thirst quenching, the right temperature. That's kind of how this feels, not so much in temperature, just in the way it goes down. It's kind of hard to describe, but I could take a glug off of this and just... It's easy. Very easy drinking. Pretty light-bodied, actually. And You know, the more I drink on it, the more it kind of reminds me of a maltier and slightly more citrusy Shiner Bock kind of. It's not to say it's near as basic. It definitely has a much more complex and in-depth flavor profile. But it's very good. It has very, very minimal wispy lacing on it. So it's pretty good. Very sessionable. Time for a rating. I'm going to give this beer a 3.5. No, a 3.7 out of 5. It's definitely not the best thing that I've ever drank, but certainly very good at the same time. It tastes very good. It's not super out there like, oh my god, this is a real treat, this is amazing. But it's certainly good. Unfortunately, I would more look to this beer on a hot day when I want something that's nice, light, and thirst quenching, even though just the bottle and everything kind of gives off this feel that's going to be, you're getting into something kind of heavy and dark and just that sort of just heavy sinisterness to the bottle. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but it's not really. It's quite easy drinking, and unfortunately I've only seen it, at least where I'm from, in these larger bottles. It is a little bit expensive and it is pretty hard to find, so I'm going to give it the 3.7 out of 5. It's good, not great, but not bad, right in between. It's definitely worth picking up and trying at least once, just to add to your beer repertoire or your library. But anyway, that has been Wychwood Brewery's Hob Goblin. Pretty good beer. Highly suggest you guys seek it out and give it a try at least once, and I hope you enjoyed the review.